Welcome to Shapify Experiences, a media web podcast. Today, our special guest is Fátima Ferreira. Fátima is UX strategy at MC Sonae. First of all, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Nelson.
No problem. So, Fátima, at MC Sonae, while you are there leading the UX and strategy part, but you start in a different area. I was seeing that your degree was about management, and actually then you have a post-graduation that already have data and kind of strategy things, right?
So actually I have the management degree, and then I did a first master in finance.
And
then I was like in the end doing the master thesis and thinking about this is not what I want to working on it. So I started to do the switch to more business intelligence stuff, and then I did that second master in business intelligence.
Okay.
But that was the trigger actually, or the first trigger, because the subjects that I really enjoy the most was the one regarding human behavior, neuroscience, and the ones that are more related with psychologists.
Yeah, and that is, I can relate that totally to user experience, and strategy actually is completely related to user experience, because more than just defining the UX, you need to make a UX that have a strategy in a company.
Vision, mission, understand all the product ambition and all that stuff. I think it's nice to have this background of strategy,
completely.
Understand where the company wants to go and how the products or the product can help the company to arrive there.
Completely. And the data part is very important also, because a lot of times for you to define a good strategy, you need to understand data. You need to have some numbers that gives you a vision where is the way of going.
Yeah. And I consider myself a really data-driven person, so bring that culture also for the team, and bring that experience and context also for a UX UI team is also good, because I start to push them to have more metrics, to ask to the product managers more metrics, and be more and more supported on metrics when we start to challenge all the product managers to do a revamp, to improve some experience. So yes, I think it's a good combination.
Yeah. But before this company, can you just in a fast way describe a little bit the progress since so you finished the master in the data and strategy, then you pass through some companies until you get now in Sonae.
I end up the management degree, and I was in PwC. And at management consulting, and in management consulting I start to be more and more related with tech projects. Also not only define conceptually solutions, but also implement it at the time in Microsoft Access with a front end in Microsoft Excel most of the times. So it's not the top rock thing in terms of technology, but this was more than 15 years ago, thinking about it. And I think that was the time that I started to change to technology. I know that I started a finance master, but when I start to do more techy things, I think that I know that and I remember that I have this cherry moment that this is what I want to do. So I was in PwC. After that, I did my first life in Sonae also. I was in the business part, but leading a business intelligence team. So we were talking before we started about the ways that database work and all that stuff. I remember that I was working at the time with SQL servers and SQL database, trying to bring all the data from our warehouse data management system and our ERP with SKL without budget, so having some local computers, working with Windows scheduling at the night to go to our productive
and to extract
and extract all the data to an independent database was a funny experience. And then I go to another company, a multinational one, HV Fuller, which is business to business, so not so known for the common mortals, because normally they have customers like IKEA, Samsung, so big names, but they are the ones that more chemical. Yes, they are providers of chemicals and some glues. And in this company, I also do some tech projects. I was leading the tech projects in IMEA and doing a lot of change management. And at the time, I was doing the second master, the data analytics one, and I had a boss that asked me to start to think about a training and the way to change or to help the people to speak each other, because we have different cultures, we have different locations. The growth strategy of the company at the time was acquisition. So we were doing an acquisition, and then there was always a project to align all the teams in terms of process, people, and systems. And I start at the time studying it a lot and working in a training about effective communication and effective presentations and human behavior and all the human cognitive limitations, and that part was really nice. That combined with the subjects that I was studying in the master was really nice. After that, I was in Natixis, in the board of Natixis, with the nearshore project, and also with communication department. With let me think, I was responsible also for the implementation of ACP and all that stuff. But was my shorter experience, and then I came back to Sonae MC at that time for the tech department with the strategy team. And then as soon that the strategy team started to have some structure, and I was missing some chaos because I really like chaos, my boss at the time gave me 2 more teams, one to create from the scratch, and another one to start to structure it a little bit, and with some challenge in specific, and that one was the UX UI team.
UX part. Okay. Yeah, that description that you said about your background, it really reinforce I believe the way that you are now, because to lead the UX strategy team. That background about using different systems, about strategizing different companies, the data part, the cognitive and the communication, all of that, I believe is very useful now in your daily work. Like to be able to have that department working in a line way and making good products for Sonae. Now in Sonae and in that department, or in the role that you have now, what are the main challenges that you are facing?
The main challenges, I think, is being on top of the trends, because I have this thing on me. I'm a curious person by default, and then I really want to be at least updated about the trends, and it's really, I think it's a challenge, because and my teams time to time are like, Fátima, please take a break, because we are doing this and you are already bringing one more topic. So I believe AI is a challenge. I think we are surfing the wave, okay, but I think there is a lot yet to come. Accessibility as well. And I think that's it.
I remember from the event that we have some weeks or months ago that you explained that you bring health to your team, like okay, this is our AI. Let's use it as
we have it in our organigram.
Exactly, like a person. He's like a person that is part of the organigram.
Consider Alf like an intern that is there to help you, and if it is in organigram, people will remember to use it. So it was one of the strategies that I used at the time to start to seed. I can say to seed or to influence my team in a decentralized way, without process, without sharing of prompts, nothing about it, but just to start to have the mindset or to start to have the usage of AI as a way of working.
So it became part of the team, right? Like there is a person that is part of the team, so you should not ignore him, and like that. And it works well. Like people start using much more and bringing. It's very nice.
The thing is, it works, and it works even with me, because I at the time I also changed the way of I was working, and now when one of the people of my one of the persons of my team came to me and starts to explain a problem statement or a product that we are working. One of the first questions that I do is, did you already try it on Figma Make? Did you already? Oh, we are trying to structure the data of the personas. Do you ask to Alf and put that in Copilot or ChatGPT or whatever? So I think now it's more and more in our ways of working, and start to be unconscious, not or not like obligation.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm...
Yes. I think at least I feel in myself, and I think in our team also, I think it became so natural. Actually, sometimes it seems as a little scary as nature as became already, because I see our team or even myself sometimes doing too much things already dependent on AI. But it makes us faster and finding sometimes things that we don't see at first look with that help. Was just saying that I didn't imagine and just past some years that we are using this kind of technology, but it's hard to imagine going back.
Yeah, actually. That's the thing. I remember for that conference that we did was the first time that I put all the usage together. So I don't remember if you remember. I don't know if you remember the slide that I showed at the time with our product development cycle. So I was like phase to phase or stage to stage, trying to remember where we use it, and then I was like, oh, but we use it here as well. Oh, but and in this stage we use more than one tool, for the one interaction. So was really like, wow,
actually,
maybe it's time to start to, we decentralize it, we diverse like Label Diamond. Now let's converge. Let's start to see what are the prompts that are working better, and start to have some sharings in the team to share that. But and silly things like, I don't imagine myself now. Don't record a meeting, to download the transcriptions, to have the resume of the meeting. So it's really, it's natural.
Yeah, completely. The follow-ups emails just became much easier. That resume is that already have most of the topics that you need. Yeah. Completely.
So I think that is the challenge, and it's a dichotomy that we have in this challenge, because if in one hand we cannot lose the wave, because I really think that for these to design the AI will be like a thing that will accelerate the way that we are delivering, but also I believe that in some cases cannot be an accelerator, but can add value okay? Instead of delivery 2 days or 3 days before, we can deliver it more. This is one of the challenges, and the other regarding AI is I think we are the ones that have the responsibility to design and to have the experience about the AI and regarding the AI less cold as possible, because more and more we have agents, more and more we call for a service, and then you are not speaking with a human. So and now I think this is one of the challenges that we have in the AI. So use it a lot and use it in an intelligent way for especially repetitive tasks and not for the ones that we need more critical sense and all that stuff. But also bring the empathy that we have and all the human touch that we have for the experience that are already using some agents, that are using AI, to smoothly the experience for the end user.
On that slide that you're saying that you have all of the like in the development life cycle, and you have the identify the elements or the where you
points,
use AI. Which ones you find more efficient? I would say, like from the multiple places that you use AI, can you identify 1 or 2 places that it make so much difference?
I think is in ideation. But just before ideation, and when we start to have a more materialized solution, to start to have the high fidelity draw, because now and I will do again some pub to Figma Make. Now what I'm doing is I start to have like an approval from our product manager and from the team that are working with us, with a proof of concept that is made by Figma Make, and then with all the assumptions that this is not the final draw, this is not the thing that will go to the development team, but we can, and we are doing that at the moment, we can already do some approvals regarding the journey, regarding the behaviors, not so much regarding the UI, but in some cases, when we have complex experience, we also can start to have like a path to go, and I think there is where we are going faster and faster. I remember two or 3 weeks ago, we have the first meeting with a team that were working on a solution with us, and it was a corporate solution because we do employment experience and also customer experience, my team. And we had the requirements before the meeting. So I went to the meeting already with a make that was fed by the requirements that the project team sent to me. And then during the team, that was like a discovery workshop where business were explaining the needs, I was feeding the make. I was make some question, feeding the make. And I can tell you, in the morning after this workshop, I had like a first, but it was really solid, a proof of concept of the major journeys that we need to draw. Two of the journey were and are very complex, because it's about invoice matching and all that stuff, and we were approving it with the business and with the project team in Make to go to Figma and start to design high fidelity mockups. So I think the one that are bring more and more efficient to my team is this one, and this week also I start to have a leaderboard for the ones that are using more Figma Make, and I start to send them through Teams. Hey guys, I'm not in the first place, but I'm in the second place. This cannot happen. You are the ones that needs to be in the first, second, and then third. And I start to have these ways of seed and to
kind of
push them to use more and more. Because I really believe that this is not to substitute ourselves, but it will accelerate the way that we work.
To make everyone bringing more value and more...
Yes.
More,
the other touch point maybe is the data treatment regarding some forms, some feedback from customers, personas, and all that stuff. We were in the past doing it manually in Excel, and most of the times with some we can lose some of the details. And now with the right prompts, we can have already a good output from AI. And I'm not talking in a specific tool to do that. I am talking about Copilot or ChatGPT, where you can just upload the file, do some indications, and then you have personas, and you read the question and the answers, and makes sense. And then you go to the workshop with people, and they say, "Yeah, this is me," and that is the best part of it. Yeah,
and this is so much the opposite of time consumer is the opposite, time saver. Like instead of like the Excel work, for example, just digesting all of that quantity of data is difficult. We will not go through the data by ourselves. We need to have an easy way of visualizing, and AI can just grab that information and give us what we need when we ask. In that case, you give data from personas, and you ask to create a persona. Okay, and it directly generates one. Regarding so you were saying that is mostly about the ideation, but the ideation with
research.
Tools like
research mostly. Yeah,
kind of research. And but you were telling about the Figma Make. So in that research, you really create like proof of concepts, but proof of concepts that are like other level of proof of concepts. I in looking to the past, like if I need to create when we are still trying to plan a project, a lot of times we were making like wireframes. And showing wireframes, but nowadays you can show a high fidelity, not really aligned with the brand maybe, but a high fidelity design working when I mean working.
Interaction, because prototyping,
because in Make, if I'm correct, I'm not using too much Make, but Make generate HTML, right? So it's like really a prototype that you can navigate.
Yes.
It can even have data, but I believe in that phase it's not necessary to go deep on that.
And you can extract the CSS of the components that is proposing. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. And actually, then you. So by creating the Make, then you pass to design. So it's like if we go from code to design again.
More or less,
in a kind of a prototype. During the prototype, we directly make something that work, but then you need to, and of course in the brands in MC, you should have really well designed or well defined UIs, design systems, etc. So the output that Make gives you probably are not totally aligned with the brand. They need to because of that might need to go back to the designer to properly
that is the thing. I didn't mention the design system, but for me the design system is not only about tokens and components and UI. I think the design system and the way that we work and the safe space that we have actually compose like an environment where the team feels free to test, learn, or to test, fail, and learn, because we have all the tokens or most of the components that we need already set, and then we have the tokens with all the variables and all the brands. So I think we invest a lot in the past to have that, and now that we have a robust design system, a robust way of working, at least inside of teams and with the developed teams as well, I think we create a safety space with the psychology safety to allow the people to test, to innovate, to try, to fail,
and using
learn.
what already exists instead of being always starting from the scratch.
Yeah. And one of the incredible thing that make allow us to do is bring this design system to the ideation that we are doing in Make. So now I used to joke with my team, we don't have wireframes black and white, we have colored wireframes or medium fee wireframes that are the ones that we make at the design part by manually, but with the components, because we already have the components. It doesn't make sense to have like placeholders there. We can drag and drop the components, or the ones that we do with Make. And in Make we are selecting the library, and then we do this, and then we indicate in the prompt if we are working for mobile, web, if we are working for brand 1, brand 2, or brand 3. And I think that creates a huge space and like how can I say that, oxygen balloon to allow the team to diverge more. I don't know if I
agree also. So because the team then spends time putting pieces of Legos together.
I used to say that.
Like they are there already, so I just arrange them in the way to solve a specific problem, instead of spending time defending how the button should be or should be aligned or how it looks like. That is done already, and you just spend time putting them together to solve some business issue or some project that you are working. And actually, this part of the design system is a good point, just to give a little more context, because maybe some people don't know. Like in MC, one of the main companies is Sonae and Continent, but there are lots of brands that you are working under there. So one of the big challenges that you should had was how to design. Like now you're designed to Continent, but then for Yummy, for example,
you work with Yummy,
or
even for corporate, because we do corporate experience or employee experience, and for this employee experience normally we use the Sonae MC brand or MC Sonae brand, and then we have the customer experience where we have Wells, Continent, we have a Note, we have Vaga, Zoo, all that brands are ours. Cozinha Continent, which has a specific brand, and the beauty of it is the tokens that are agnostic of the brand allow us to configure these variables regarding the context, if it is web, if it is mobile, and then the brands to allow us to have different experience, or even to switch the experience like that. So I can draw an experience to one of my brands, and then with 2 clicks I switch it. That
is amazing, and is really a good example where design systems can bring value to a company. Because in a lot of times, like we are designing, or the most common is making a design system for a specific brand. But when you start having this level of complexity that is not just one brand, is multiple brands, and you make it work smoothly between them, like having the same base of components, and you have defined what change between, because even if you can have a common design system, the brands don't look all the same. So you just imagine you should have rules that you change the colors, the fonts, maybe some rules of spacing or other kind of things.
Even the buttons. For some brands we have more soft buttons, and there are other ones that are more square, more sharp. So. But this is something that is configured.
It's like you have the all of the tokens.
We have a lot of variations in tokens. But I think it's a really investment that all the design teams should do, because the way that then allow your team to experiment, to do different things, to avoid rework, to reutilize the same experience over and over again. It's incredible.
And even to like the fact that you can change the brand. I imagine that maybe sometimes it happened that you create something, and that software it is also possible to be used in the context of other brand. Just if you need to recreate the entire design in other brand, it will be a lot of hours, and like that's just applying a different brand, and everything is in place.
And design system is all about consistency. So if you do that, you are doing and following the purpose of it. So and one of the things that you said. Now, when I have one of the designers working in one experience, they are not thinking about if the bottom will be rounded or square or sharp or whatever, because there are sessions specific to discuss design system.
That kind of things.
The components were already discussed and validated for all the team. So they are really focused on the journey, on the end user. And then if there is a need of some specific variations, they can do it, or they can lead it in the end of the big picture of the whole journey that they need to start to draw.
And I imagine that even that need, like if they need some specific place, is probably opportunity of improving the design system. You probably have that loop, like you have the design system well defined, but then in every single application that you do with the design system, you probably identify new things that you didn't thought, and you can incorporate them later and make it even better.
They go to the pipeline. We have a design system lead, and then we talk with them, and then there is some sprints and some way to have the team working on it. That's I used to say that the design system is our backbone, but it's a backbone that are always growing, evolving. It's like a child that is now I think it's like in a teenager already. But yes, I think this is the backbone that allow us to work with accessibility, work with AI, work with, and it's really something that accelerates all that stuff. That and one example is the accessibility. So what we did.
I was actually thinking directly asking about that.
What we did as soon that we start to do all the trainings with our product management and then with our business teams and tech teams was, okay, we need to start to work in some contracts that contrast that we have in our components, and it was really easy to update 60. I think we have 66 components at the time with all the variations that you can imagine. So we have one product card, but with more than 10 variations, and start to have all the components by default accessible.
I was about to mention that because about like now it's a different topic, like the accessibility, but design systems is one of the best ways, I believe, to assure that companies are developing systems with accessibility in mind, because you can make all of the validations in your components as you're describing, instead of creating everything every time and then creating errors with that, not validating properly the colors, contrasts, or the roles, and if you talk about the implementation, this gets other level, because in the design you might validate well the colors, but in the implementation you need sometimes to have proper HTML tags or roles or things like that, and it'll be very, very easy if you are not using a component that is already validated to create something and forget about some elements. And having that foundation for all the brands,
it's incredible. And even for accessibility, one of the things that we are prioritize, when we can prioritize, because for us the prioritization is always the business and deliver the product that we need to deliver, is having, in terms of accessibility, all the components documented. Because if you have the components documented for accessibility, when you are doing a project, when you are doing a new solution, a new feature, the documentation regarding accessibility will be less than if you have nothing. So I always saying that I think maybe I'm a little bit lazy, I don't know, because I hate rework. I hate to do this, and I hate routine. I hate everything that is doing the same time, the same thing all over and over again. So I think the design system, it's all about it. It's the Lego pieces that we were that you were talking about. So if you have everything in the foundation, you will go there, keep do, and then reutilize.
Yeah.
And have all the devs seeing the same documentation. And the documentation is not the documentation about the designer 1, 2, or 3. It's the documentation about the design system, one. And you will be the same for all the ecosystem, and it will be consistent.
Yeah. Still about the accessibility, is not. In a company with this dimension, accessibility have multiple dimensions. It's not just the design system. One that I was thinking, okay, the design system is the foundation, but then in implementation is necessary still to validate, because there are content, even the content influence the accessibility. There are multiple dimensions, like if you hire some external company to do some part of development, that need to be accessible also. Yes. Need to have accessibility, and accessibility go even to physical spaces. I know that, for example, the continent have some kiosks, and there are multiple dimensions. How easy or difficult it have been to change the culture to assure that all the processes, not all, but that the company validates or have accessibility included in the right way, in the right processes.
So we were in the last month of the last year and first month of this year doing more and more evangelization of the people. And because the feeling that I have is, if you have a close person that have some disability, you will be aware for accessibility. If you don't have, you don't be aware for accessibility. So what we did was set up a training, really empathic, and sometimes I put some things in the eyes of the audience and put them in some cases trying to do a role play with some disabilities, and I think this is very important, because most of us don't know what we are talking about.
Until we see a real case, is something that it passes a little on the side.
That's the thing, and most of the people don't know the rhythm of that the blind people hears a screen reader, for example. When we show the videos that we have from accessibility tests, most of the people doesn't understand what the phone is saying, and the reaction is so fast. And then the reaction is, can they understanding what the phone is saying? Yes, they can. That's why it's working. So I think that was one of the biggest work. Do the evangelization,
start to wake up cases.
Start to wake up the people for this concern and for this huge piece of the population that has more than 1 million residents in Portugal that has at least one disability, and the thing is, the challenge. What I used to say is, when we are thinking and designing a solution or a product that will work in a personal cell phone or computer, it's easier, because the phone is already personalized, customized to me. And the computer, if it is a personal computer or even a work computer that is personal as well, it's already with your preference, with the contracts, the font size that you want. And I think with all the challenge that we have, and it's easier than we have an interface that is used for all the people. And I think this is where we have more challenge. When we go to a store kiosk, when we go to a product that is used for a lot of people, people with disabilities and people without disabilities. So we need to put the joystick of the customization in the end user. If you want a bigger font, you have it. If you want more space line, you have it. If you have more contracts, you have it. Dark mode, monochromatic, color.
But if it will be the same device, need to be easy to just like that it adapts, because if you need to go to some specific menu or setting, no one will find it. That is a bigger challenge. But even sometimes in the personal device, maybe you were just saying like most of your systems, and now with the design system they are accessible. But in a lot of cases, even if the software don't have the minimum of the accessibility values, even with the settings of the device, the application itself don't respond to the proper things. And I think the thing that you were saying, like showing real cases and showing to people how that affect the users is the best way. Just something that I was remember when you were talking. I think when we are now in a transition, that you just said 1 million something people with disabilities. We are now in one transition that if I look to my grandfather, he doesn't look a phone. He might need accessibility in their phone, but he doesn't have even a smartphone. So I think why I'm bringing this, because when we will be old, we are used to technology, and I can see well now, but I will not see well when I will have, if I will have 90 years or something like that. So I think the number, like in 20 years, the number of people that need accessibility will increase so much, because all of us will need to we might not be able even to move properly, like I move now,
to
see, all of the senses that we have now. But the old people now don't use smartphones, or most of them, but we will use. So the number will really increase.
I have a personal belief that is the number is already bigger than that. So the number that Census 2021 said is we have 10.9% of the resident population in Portugal, at least with one permanent disability. But I really believe that this number is bigger, because I don't remember to say in that survey that I have myopia. I don't know how to say in English, sorry. But I have visual disabilities, and I have it. And we have the thing that most of the people doesn't consider themselves with one disability, because it's like, we accept it, right? So I think this will increase it if we have more awareness about it. And as you said, we are with a trend of aging. Most of the countries are seeing, except India, that has the demographic pyramid with the younger population more representative than the oldest. The rest of the countries are with an aging problem. So more and more we'll have elder population and end users, and more even the active population to do the work will be older. So we need to think about sustainability in terms of technology, because otherwise we are just doing something that in 10 years is already put it in the let's do a revamp, because this is
in
not
nowadays in 10 years it will be
already I know
the
okay,
same, but
5 years. But the thing is that I most of the times I'm not only, or a lot of times I'm not only having these discussions with my product managements about the customer experience, but also about the employer experience, because we know that our active population will be older in the future, so we need to allow them to have a higher or a bigger font, have more contracts. So yes, that is the thing that is really important in terms of accessibility. Start working for the future, start to have a more sustainable and with a society that includes all of us. And another thing that I truly believe is when we start to work in accessibility and start to work to solve problems that people with disabilities have, normally we are also maybe not addressing problems, but make the life of the people without disabilities better and easier. Because accessibility is about make the things easier. It's make the things less complex as possible. So as soon that you start to have this mindset when you are designing things, you start to be more inclusive in all the way.
Completely.
Not only for the people that has disabilities, but also for the other ones.
Completely, because the disabilities exist also temporary disabilities,
and context disabilities.
And context disabilities. So I might not need any assistive technology, but in some cases it will be useful to have some assistive technology if I have an injury or if I just outside with the sun, with lots of sun, or even accessibility might be user. I'm thinking now even like with AI, even for AI to be able to, and the agents and things like that. Like I imagine if the interface is well defined in terms of accessibility, even agents or automatic systems will better understand the software and being able to in an easy way make some kind of automations because can understand the things. And I was thinking this because in the last week in the talk of the DQ CEO, she was mentioned actually a different perspective. Was the training, the AI training is being trained with the systems that exist now. So there is two dimensions here. There is being trained with in a bad example software. So in the future we might have AI that do code for us, but it might not be creating well the system because it was trained in the wrong way. And actually the automations that we can generate now, they probably cannot interact well in the system because they need the same assistive systems that for example, like an image, the system might use vision to look to the image, but if the image have a description, it will be much easier for automated tool to understand what is there and do something about it.
It's true. And one example of this, sometimes we are just doing some ideation about some solutions with screen readers for people with accessibilities. These solutions can be used by people without disabilities because they like to have a herbering in
just to listen in some situations.
But also for my colleagues that are at the store, because normally they are with the hands busy, and having something telling them what to do, where is the things, or something like that is really nice. And this is the context disability, or
exactly.
I truly believe that accessibility and work and technology to remove all that barriers have this purpose, this higher thing that is not only include the ones that has disabilities, but also improve the life for everyone.
Completely. And I think is a good takeaway for this episode. Thank you for being here. It was very good to talk with you.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Nelson. It was really nice.
Thank you.